let's get started. I'm going to talk to you about the secret. The secret. Before I go into the secret, let me tell you what my background was. I've been in the United Kingdom now for 20 years. And as I came here, I studied I was educated in engineering, and I went through the different career options that most people in the world go through. And most people in the world follow 5 different career options. So here's the first one. The first career is called a blue collar career. And I had done that. A blue collar career is when you as an individual give your services and get paid for the hours that you do for the service or the skill that you have. So I worked as an engineer, as a blue collar role, started at the very bottom, worked my way up to the very top, became a senior electronic engineer, and worked for one of the biggest engineering firms in the world. But at the end of it, I was not happy. I wasn't fulfilled. Why? Because the more hours I did, the more money I made, but I didn't have time freedom, money freedom. And I knew no matter how high you go up that rat race, you're always going to be a rat. So the next career that people go into is called a white collar career. This is when you have a managerial role. You have a management position, and normally you manage blue collar workers. So I got into a managerial role in my career. I went from lower management to the senior most management in that company, one of the biggest companies in the UK. But here's what I was frustrated about. I was getting pressure from the top, the owners of the company, who always want more. And I was getting pressure from the subordinates who are not always delivering. So you're continuously pressured. It was like a pressure cooker. All right. So I didn't enjoy that either. All right. And I was frustrated being frustrated. Then you got the third type of career, which is sales. So I said, let's give a go at that. So I started this at the lowest position, made my way up. And what's good about sales is you can make a lot of money. But here's the challenge. Let's say you made a lot of money and you did really well 1 year. But the following year, the targets reset. So you've got to go and do it all over again. And also your areas reduce. And there's a lot of pressure. So you're constantly on a pressurized lifestyle. And I didn't like that pressure because it was too much. All right. And you have a boss, and who you titled boss as BOSS, blowing off serious steam. All right. So that was not for me. So that was the left-hand side of what you call the Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I said, you know what? It's time to move to the right-hand side. Okay. So the next career option is traditional business owner. So what do traditional business owners do? 1, they need to have a good idea. 2, you need to invest a lot of money to go and start up your business. 3, you don't get any mentorship or any guidance or anything like that. It's very risky. So I went in, I had a great idea. I set up my companies, and here's what happened. What I went in for was the passion for my idea, but what I ended up doing was everything else that I didn't enjoy. The human resources, the corporation tax, the VAT, and all the things I didn't want to do. See, in a job, it could be 9 to 5, but in a business, it's 24/7. And it was too much pressure. I was going against the odds because more than 90% of businesses fail in their first 2 years. And more than 85% of businesses fail in their first 10 years. So I was going against the odds. I didn't enjoy myself. The next career option is becoming an investor. And I did that. I invested money. I made money, but a lot of times I lost money as well. And one of the biggest disadvantages of being an investor is you need capital. And a lot of people don't have capital nowadays. So after trying the 5 different careers, I'm thinking to myself, there must be more to life. And I was searching, I was really looking for something. And I learned in engineering called the theory of elimination. So after trying everything, what is left? And I identified one career just 8 years ago that I got involved in, and it completely transformed my life. And that was a career in the network marketing industry. Now, I didn't say just try it. I became a professional at it. And I got to the conclusion that there is no other career that's better than the network marketing profession. Now, you might be saying, Liju, you're saying that because you're biased, because you're a co-founder of a network marketing company. And I will tell you, not only am I just going to say it, I'm actually going to prove it to you, because I'm going to list out each and every reason why I believe that this career that you have right now have chosen is the best one, and why the best company within this industry, the career that you've chosen, is NeXarise. You can make NeXarise your home because of those reasons. Number 1, you get to make residual income. Never heard of that income in my life before I came to this career, because I was actually getting paid linear income. I exchanged time. I got paid for the time that I did, the hours that I did, I got paid. So it was a limit. But residual income is money that you get paid on a month by month basis for the works that you did once upon a time. Now imagine you've been working for 20 years and you today got paid for the work you did 20 years ago. That's residual income. That income is the best income. And that is why Art Jonak said, if you understand the power of residual income, you will go directly through a brick wall just to go and get it. The next best part about this career is you get financial freedom. I was interviewed once and somebody asked me, Liju, so do you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire? Is that what you're striving for? I said, no. I said, I'm striving for financial freedom. And the interviewer asked me, well, isn't having financial freedom mean that you are a millionaire? And I said, absolutely not. What does financial freedom mean? Add up your monthly expenses, your mortgage, your rent, your grocery bills, your utility bills, all your expenses. And if all of that adds up to £5,000 a month, and if on the 1st of every month or the 15th of every month, a company like NeXarise puts £5,000 into your bank account as residual income, even if you get out of bed or not, then you are financially free. Every pound above that is called financial abundance. So that's true financial freedom. The next element is unlimited income potential. You can write your own paycheck in this career, because if you want to make 10 grand a month, become an RD10. You want to make $1 million a month, become an SVP count. So there's no limit as to how much your money or your income can grow. So the potential is phenomenal. Then you get time freedom. Now, I was again asked a question. So Liju, what do you mean by time freedom? I said, time freedom means that you have the choice to do what you want, when you want, where you want, wherever you want, with whoever you want, however you want. And this career is going to give you that. The next element is the fact that you get daily personal growth. See, I'm somebody who believes that every single day, either you are growing or you are dying. And this career will give you daily growth. That is mindset. You give you growth. You're growing your mind every single day because your body is growing every single day anyway. You get to grow on a mental level, on a higher level. You get to have the option to build a career where the only way you can rank up to the top is by helping other people. So what does that mean? The highest leaders in our company got there because they just helped more people than the people who didn't hit the rank. Isn't that amazing? That's the reason why my mentor said service to many leads to greatness. Isn't that amazing? Now look at the other element. You get tax benefits. Now let me educate you a little bit about tax. The most important thing that you want to learn. Taxes are created by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So if you get involved and become a NeXarise entrepreneur, you're going to enjoy the juice of the tax benefits that a lot of people in the world will not have. It's phenomenal. Next, you get to have family growth. Now, what does that mean? Because you are growing, without you realizing, you are indirectly growing the family around you. Now, why do I say that? I have an experience. I have a story. Now, you see, I have got 3 sons, all right, and 1 daughter who finally arrived after 3 boys. So in the last 5 years, so I'm fast in production, okay? Now, my children are naughty children. Let's put it that way. So when I went for my first parent-teacher meeting for my oldest son, who's now 5, he was 2 back then, I was nervous. Now, I'm a very confident person. But why was I nervous? Because I was actually nervous about the fact that the teacher is going to give me constructive feedback of why I, as a parent, am a bad parent because he's so naughty. So I go for my first parent-teacher meeting, and I'm sitting there with the teacher, and the first question the teacher asks is, Liju, what is it that you teach your children? And I'm like, well, I'm like any other normal dad. I just teach him the right thing to do. And I asked the teacher, why do you say or ask that question? She said, here's the reason why. Your son Jaden is 2 years old, yet he is the most confident child in this entire Montessori. In fact, he's the only child who doesn't want to be a child, but he wants to be a teacher and stand in front of his little peer group, and he wants to lead them, guide them, direct them. Now, when I heard that, friends, I had tears in my eyes. Because never in my life did I ever teach them to do what they want to do or to become confident. He was able to absorb it because this career allowed me to become that individual that he was able to imitate. Isn't that amazing? You get to travel the world. I was asked in a TV interview once, Liju, you live an amazing lifestyle, but how do you really know if somebody has really lived their life? And I said, show me the pages of your passport and I will let you know if you've really lived your life. I was able to travel because of this career, to 33 countries in the last 2 years. There are 195 countries around the world. Most people don't even visit 10 in their lifetime. This career will allow you to travel the world. Now, let's the next thing. You get to diversify relationships. You see, I'm a keen observer. And what I've observed in my life is that if you look at Indians, majority of the time, they spend their life with Indians. If you look at Africans, majority of the time, they spend their life with Africans. If you look at, let's say, Spaniards or Mexicans, they spend their time with their cultural relations most of the time. So what happens is a lot of people miss out on the beauty of the different flavors of culture that this world gives you. You see, that is why it said variety is the spice of life. And it says that life is like a box of chocolates, but don't just try one, try everything. So this business will allow you to create diverse relationships. I'm a big foodie. I get to eat diverse kinds of cuisines because of my team members and the people that I hang around with. And that variety is what adds the essence to life. Next, positive associations. You see, the Harvard University did a research. They took people from the age of 18 and tracked their life to the age of 80. And they selected hundreds of them. And at the end of it, their goal was to find out who were the happiest people at the end of their life. Now, some of those individuals became prime ministers. Some became athletes. Some became very large business owners. Some became extremely wealthy. Some were poor. And what Harvard University identified at the end of someone's life, the people who lived the best quality life were the individuals who had the best associations. Isn't that amazing? That is why George Bernard Shaw said, show me your friends and I'll tell you your future. If you read the Bhagavad Gita in the Hindu religion, it defines heaven as like-minded, positive people sitting together and having a conversation. Remember, when you surround yourself with positive people, you have a positive lifestyle, and positive people have positive bank accounts. Negative people have negative bank accounts. Let's move on. You become role model to others. Since I've been in this career and this industry, you have no idea the number of people that have reached out to me through social media. And these are individuals I've never met in different parts of the world. And they say, Liju, you have no idea of how you inspire me on a day-by-day basis. I don't even know these people. I get messages saying, Liju, you are my role model. And I'm like, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a kid who got involved in the right career. I even got messages where people have said, Liju, I have been so depressed and lonely and even thought of committing suicide. But when I listen to your videos and your messages, I have the urge to literally live and make something of my life. When you hear those messages, when you see those messages, you know that you're becoming role models to others who want to be like you. You also become role models to your children. Now, you know what? Let me tell you how you can be a good dad or a good mom. Is one of the most common questions that children are asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And if your child says, I want to be like my daddy, I want to be like my mommy before the age of 18, then you know you've done a good job at becoming a role model for your children. You get to impact lives on a daily basis. You get to have a life of no monotony, because prior to this career, for me, my life was waking up early morning, force feeding myself with the same thing every day, sitting in the car every single day, stuck in traffic, going to the same place of work, through the same way of work, meeting the same stressed people in the same environment, coming back in the same place of work, and then literally crashing down on my sofa. And most people have this lifestyle. They spend 40 to 50 years of their life doing the same thing over and over again. In fact, more than 90% of people don't even like the jobs that they do, and they live a monotonous life. You see, most people die at 25, but they're not buried till they're 75. You cannot call life well lived if you've gone all the way to 75 and live the same day every single day. This career or this industry gives you a new person to speak with every single day, new experiences, new food, new areas. You don't know who you're going to meet the next day. They might inspire you, they might make fun of you, but it's not monotonous, and you get to create stories after stories after stories. You get to earn recognition and respect from your friends, your relatives, your family members, the individuals who are your haters, and your fans. And isn't that amazing? You get to live a balanced life. Now, many a times in my business circle, I have hung around with a lot of rich people. But you know what I found out? Some people are so poor, all they have is money. Let me repeat that. Some people are so poor, all they have is money, because they're rich in the bank account, but they're poor everywhere else. They don't have a good lifestyle, they don't have happiness, they don't have a good family life, and their health is absolutely rubbish. This career helps you to live a balanced life of health, wealth, and happiness. You get to have mental and social well-being because you're surrounding yourself with people who have good mental and social well-being. You get to work with your life partner. Now, somebody told me the other day, Liju, that might be a negative. I said, well, that's the way you see it. You chose the wrong partner if it's a negative. This is the career that allows you to work together with your spouse, have common goals, common targets, common vision. You get to work from your home, work from your beach, work from anywhere. That's why I call it a laptop lifestyle. You get to have equal opportunity. Isn't that amazing? That you know that in this career, it doesn't matter if you are white, black, brown, or blue. It doesn't matter if you're educated or uneducated. It doesn't matter if you speak good English or bad English. It doesn't matter if you're big or small, if you're thin or tall. It doesn't matter if you're man or woman. In fact, more than 80% of the women who make over 100,000 a year come from this industry. That means whatever you would have been outside, doesn't matter if you have political connections, if your parents have got a lot of connections, they're big in the field, you got to come here, start at the bottom, make your way to the top, because there is no elevator in this area to get to the top. Isn't that amazing? Talent does not matter whatsoever. Work ethic matters. You become an ethical entrepreneur with integrity. Trust me, in my time of spending a lot of time with a lot of rich business people, let me tell you what they have told me. Most successful rich business people cut corners in order to become a successful business person. That is the reason why when they hear that the HMRC is going to audit them, or the Inland Revenue is going to audit them, or the IRS is going to audit them, or the FCA is going to audit them, they are getting nervous because they got to cut corners somewhere in order to get to the top. Here, you can become an ethical entrepreneur with 100% integrity. Isn't that amazing? You can live a purpose-driven life. Every single day, you know that you're getting up to go out there and help somebody. Even if you achieve the position of SVP crown, your journey hasn't ended. Why? Because there'll be one more person whose life you can impact. So isn't that amazing? You have unending journey of progression. I was once asked on stage, Diju, what is your ambition? And I said, my ambition is to get to the edge of perfection to the end of my life and understand that I even haven't started the journey yet. Isn't that amazing? Every day you can perfect yourself. You don't have a boss. That means you are your own boss. You don't have any targets. That means there's no pressure. And the beauty is low risk with a trial period. See, if you want, let's say if you want to buy a McDonald's franchise, okay, and become a business owner. Can you actually go and say, hey, let me just buy this franchise, try it out for a couple of weeks. If I don't like it, I'll give it back. Doesn't happen. Here it allows you to have no risk, have a trial period. It's recession proof. Why? Because NeXarise deals with essential services and products. That is why Warren Buffett said, what you like to do, make that your hobby. But what people like to do, make that your business. Now, you tell me, do you think people will ever stop paying the electricity bills? No. In fact, in 2030, every car on the road has to be electric. People are going to charge their cars at home. Electricity bills is going to go up. Who's going to get paid more residual income? So it's the recession-proof business because we deal with essentials. It's a pandemic-proof business. Why? You can work from home and build globally around the world. You get great regular coaching from achievers. Think about this. When was the last time in your job you had the CEO or the top achiever in that company come down and sit with you for 1 hour and teach you how to reach their position. It doesn't happen. Why? Because if they teach you their secrets, you become their competition. Am I making sense? For me to get my boss's position in my company, she had to die. Isn't that crazy? It's a horrible thought. And in fact, if you want to get achievers to give you coaching, you got to pay a lot of money. Here, you've got the achievers in your company going to sit down with you for free and coach you and teach you how to be the best. Isn't that amazing? How do you cross a minefield? You simply follow the footsteps, and that's what you're going to get over here. It's flexible and you can start part-time. What's great about it is meaning you can still do your bread and butter, your full-time job, pay your bills, and you can start this part-time. That is why Jim Rohn said, work full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune, till your fortune overtakes your salary so you can get full-time on your fortune. Isn't that amazing? So that is the reason why this is not just a career for you. For some of you, you can make this your calling. You are born and destined to do this like me. Now, what's the difference between a career and calling? What's the difference? A career is what you are paid for. A calling is what you're made for. Let me repeat that. A career is what you're paid for. A calling is what you're made for. For some of you, you'll soon realize you were born to do this. You have clarity with no ambiguity. What does that mean? You know exactly what you got to do to get to where you want to be. Let me tell you, most of the times people don't know what they want to be. In fact, if you are in employment, go and speak to some of your colleagues and ask them, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Most people say, well, I don't know. I tell people, if you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years' time, you are already there. What's great about NeXarise in this career, you know exactly, you have clarity, you know what you got to do, and there's no ambiguity. That's the beauty about it. Look at the next element. You become part of a noble cause. What does that mean? You are building your empire under the umbrella of the NeXarise empire. But you know, while you're building your empire, you also know that as NeXarise gets bigger, what's the mission of NeXarise? It's our mission statement. Our mission is to help and enable individuals to enjoy the benefits of residual income. Isn't that amazing? And how will NeXarise become a multi-billion-dollar company? Is when you become multi-millionaires within the company of NeXarise. Isn't that amazing? Now look at this. You get to leave a long-lasting legacy. Today is Remembrance Day. We got people all over this country holding silent for 2 minutes. And if it's in your family, they're looking at the images of those people who left legacies and sacrificed their life. By being a part of NeXarise and by building yourself in this career, at one point in your life, you will be able to will your position, your residual income to your loved ones. And there will come a point in the future where your children's children will look at your picture on the mantelpiece and say, that man or that woman made a difference to my life because you left a legacy. What does legacy stand for? Let every generation after celebrate you. Now, I've given you 34 reasons of why this is the best career. But the best and the most powerful point of why this industry and this career is the best one is because you get to experience a fulfilling life. See, a lot of people today are chasing this concept called happiness. Hey, why do you do that? Because it makes me happy. But only high-level thinkers, readers, high-level individuals with wisdom understand that happiness is temporary, but fulfillment is permanent. That's the beauty of being in this company, in this industry, because every day you can go to bed with satisfaction, but every day in the morning you can wake up with determination because you're living a fulfilled life. Friends, when I saw these 35 points, I did not need any more reasons for why I should build my career and have my calling in this industry. So for my next question was, what is the secret of the most successful people in the world in this industry? And the answer that I found will come at the last slide of this presentation. But before I found out, I want to identify what makes a successful individual. There were certain elements. And for me to find that out, I understood one thing. if you wish to be successful, study successful people. Simple. So I started to study the most successful individuals in this career. I read books upon books upon books upon books, and I identified there were 6 elements of success. 6. And I'm going to go through each and every one of them. Now, here's the first element of success. I'm going to show you that by showing you an image. Look at this image on the screen. These are some of the biggest and most successful companies in the world. Airbnb, Walt Disney, WhatsApp, IBM, HP, Microsoft. What is common among all of these companies? Here's the answer. Each and every one of them started in the midst of a global recession, which means when every other company was shutting down, when governments were closing the economy down, when people were being laid off, businesses were slowing down, the entrepreneurs within these companies decided to start the company, exactly opposite to what people were doing. And today, look at where they are. Now, here's one company that you're going to see in the near future that will be talked about like this. A company that started right in the midst of the greatest global recession this planet has ever seen. And that company is no stranger to you. It's NeXarise. And well done for each and every one of you for being a part of history. Because when everything is shutting down, we are rising up as a company and giving individuals hope. Isn't that amazing? What does HOPE stand for? HOPE, helping other people earn. That's what it's all about. So the point I'm trying to make is the first element of success is about timing. Time is the most important commodity on the planet. That's why you can see the biggest clock behind my head, because time is very important. The smart ones use it, the rest abuse it. Now, I used to play semi-professional cricket, and I'm an opening bowler and a batsman all-rounder. And I remember when I went to bat, I used to try and hit the ball as hard as I can so I can hit a sixer. Now, what is a sixer? Hitting the ball outside the ground. And I got out trying to do that. After me came a very skinny looking kid, half my size. He comes in, first ball, taps the ball, it goes for a 6. And my coach asked me, Liju, what did you learn from that shot? And I said, well, he's lucky. I said, no, this is the learning. It's not about how hard you hit the ball. It's about how well you time the ball. You see, my friend, the first element of success is timing. You are right now at the best time of your life to be in this moment. Now, shall I prove it to you? It's very simple. I just went on Google Trends and I typed in what people are searching. And I typed in the words work from home. And look at what I found out. 2015, yes, thousands. But look at where 2020 is. Hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands of people today are going on Google and searching work from home. I was asked in an interview once, Liju, how does one become a millionaire and how does one become a billionaire and all the learning that you have accumulated? And I said, it's very simple. If you want to be a millionaire, solve 1 million people's problems. If you want to be a billionaire, solve 1 billion people's problems. Right now, a big problem for people is how can they work from home? And you and I have an opportunity to give it to them to solve their problem by showing them NeXarise. That's how important timing is. What's the next important element of success? And that is communication. When one of the biggest and best investors and business people on this planet, who, by the way, happens to own network marketing companies, he was asked the question, what is the most valuable skill in business? Is it the fact that you need business knowledge? Is it the fact that you got to have any kind of attachments attached to your CV? He said, no, the biggest skill to be a successful person is communication. That's what he said. And that is what you need to understand, that each and every one of you on this call, that on a regular basis, your role is communicating the good news of NeXarise to everybody. Now, how do you communicate that? By presenting the opportunity to prospects daily, by teaching your trainers, and you're training your people by presenting the training to them so that they can train others. And 3, by presenting the product or the service that we offer to your customers. So your communication in this business is presentation. But what I have seen is why a lot of people fail is because they don't know how to communicate. In fact, they don't know how to present. And they commit the 3 deadly sins of a presentation. Is what we call the 3 C's. First C is cheesy. I have seen so many presentations where it literally makes me squeal because it's so cheesy. Hey, bro, you want to make some money? Trust me, man. Come follow me and you can go and sack your boss tomorrow. That's cheesy. That's not professional. The next C, they cut to the chase. All right. They go, hey, listen, I want you to come to this presentation and I'm literally going to show you how you can get rid of all the negatives of your life and literally become a millionaire. That's cutting to the chase. And the third C is cash. Hey, you want to make 10 grand? I'm going to show you how to make 10 grand as a regional director 10. Come, I'll show you. Never commit the 3 deadly sins of a presentation. Understand the framework of your NeXarise presentation should be the 4H. The first H is you got to connect to the person's heart. How do you do that? By giving them your why, your story, your goal. Then you got to connect to their head by showing them the content of the 1 to 10 presentation of NeXarise, which should be under 18 minutes. Why do I say 18 minutes? Because scientists have proven that the average attention span of an individual when they see a presentation for the first time is 18 minutes. That is why TED Talks are on average 18 minutes. Then you want to connect to their hands by getting them to move immediately. Action. Be a customer, be a partner, or give me a referral. And close by connecting back to the heart, closing the circuit by giving a success story that you had. You see, friends, when you do that, that's when you get the right framework of a presentation. So if I was presenting NeXarise, this would be my framework. As long as within the framework, you can use different words. So I'll start by saying, hey, buddy, I was really sick and tired of being sick and tired in the situation that I'm in, having not enough money and having not enough time. That is why I came into this company and I saw this information, and let me present that to you. Now it's your opportunity to take advantage of it right now. Take action. But let me tell you what has happened to me. I took action. I followed the system. I followed the coaching. And I was able to do one of the best things in my life is go to my dad and mom and say, hey, dad, hey, mom, you never have to work a day in your life ever again. Now remember, if you don't have a story, sell somebody else's success story till you get your own story. Hey, I want to talk to you about a man called Ahmed. He lived in a council estate. His life was not that great whatsoever. He worked in Marks and Spencer. He came into this career in this industry, followed the system, and he was able to live, create legacy and history and even change the lives of his family. Wouldn't that be amazing? See, friends, remember this. If you connect to somebody's heart, they will give you their hands and their head. I repeat, when you connect to somebody's heart, they will give you their hands and their head. And that should be the framework of your communication. So the first element of success is timing. The second element of success is you communicating the presentation of NeXarise in the right way without making the 3 deadly sins. The next element that I found is that most successful people in this industry and career sold a decent product or service. Mark the word decent. They didn't sell the cheapest product. In fact, majority of them sold much more expensive products than normal. They didn't sell the best product. They just sold a decent product or service. Now, what do you have in NeXarise? What companies could not achieve in 25, 30, 40, 50 years, NeXarise was able to achieve it by the grace of God in 5 months. Look at the range of products and services that you have. Forget all of this. Even just one of this service or product is enough for you to grow a massive empire. Just even one of it. Because each of these was selected because they were already proven and performing in other industries. There are travel companies that just do travel. Insurance companies that just do insurance that are multi-million-dollar companies. So you're looking at 7. Energy, multi-trillion-dollar industry. Mobile, Take your mobile phone in front of somebody and just say, hey, listen, are you ever going to stop using this device? No. Then let me show you a way of how you can earn residual income from this. That's a 1-minute presentation. So each of these services, but that's not it. In the next few weeks, we're going to be launching another service. And then the few weeks after that, we got another 2 more services. There is going to be coming a point in the very near future that you're going to have an entire screen full of products and services. And you can choose what you want, when you want, and build residual income. But the most important question is this. What do we sell? Do we sell energy? Yes, but that's not our product. Do we sell mobile? Yes, but that's not what we sell. Do we sell business development, web development? Yes, but that's not our product. What is our product? What is it that we sell? And that is the NeXarise opportunity. See, a lot of people get bogged down with the detail and they analyze all the products and services and they have the disease of analysis paralysis. Hey, listen, you got so many videos here, but somewhere else there's more videos there. That's stupidity. Your opportunity is your product. You got to focus on the opportunity, not the collateral products, because you have an opportunity to solve people's problems. Nobody's woke up today morning and say, you know what, I need to get home care cover for this house. No. But people are waking up in the morning and saying, man, I just wish I could have financial stability in my house. So the opportunity is the product that you're selling. That's what you should focus on. And how much does it cost for you to get started in this opportunity? £199, including VAT to get started, £20, 40 pence a month. Add that up in a year, divided by 365 days. The cost of this opportunity is £1.22 a day. Less than a cup of coffee. Let me have a sip of coffee, actually. For less than a cup of coffee that you can buy, you can give people the opportunity to literally change their life. Let that sink in. So the value of this product or opportunity is not 122. The value is you can become successful. So somebody comes and talks to me about price. I say, what's the cost? I say £1.22. So what do you mean £1.22? That's your daily cost to become a success story in this game. And so that's what you got to understand. This is the product. So all you got to do is in all the slides, my favorite slide is this, just one slide. You put this in front of people and the people who get it will get it. What does this say? Become an RD10 and you make £10,000 every single month as residual income. That's it. You don't need to convince. You don't need to coerce. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to brainwash. You don't need to push. You don't need to do anything. See, you cannot convince the donkey to be a racehorse because a donkey is always a donkey. A racehorse is always a racehorse. If they don't get it, they don't get it. Move on. You can't give the right message to the wrong person and you can't give the wrong message to the right person. This is what you're communicating. This is the opportunity. So you understand the first element of success is timing. The second element is how you communicate the opportunity. The third element is you're selling a decent product, a decent service, but the best opportunity on the planet. Because trust me, I've seen almost every compensation plan that can be in big companies out there. Not one compensation plan comes near. I'm not even saying comes, it doesn't even come near to what we offer. That's how beautiful our compensation plan is. Because it's created by people like us who are there on the field. That is why the game gets better when the players make the rules. That's good. Remember that. The game gets better when the players make the rule. Now you got all of that. Next thing that successful people take in this industry, they have a strategy to execute this opportunity. And what's your strategy? It's very simple. You don't need to teach somebody to become an RD10. You don't need to teach somebody to become an RVP or an SVP or an SVP crown. Your strategy in this business is simple. Teach people to become an ETT 100. Now, what's an ETT 100? You get a personal business volume of over 100 pounds, over 100, and help 2 other people and have a combined business volume of 350. Now you're making 100 pounds every single month. That is equivalent to 1,200 pounds in a year. That is equivalent to having 120,000 pounds in your bank account at 1% interest. And you and I know you don't even get that nowadays. Now, once you teach someone to become an ETT 100, naturally they'll say, hey, listen, how do I get to the next position? That's ETT 250. Very simple. Go and show 3 other people to do what you did. Simple. See, that's the strategy. You got to become an ETT machine. You got to become an ETT factory in your organizations. How do you become an RD10? Help 143 people become an ETT 100. How do you become an SVP Crown? Help 32,000 people hit ETT 100. That is your strategy. So you got timing, you got the communication, you've actually got an amazing opportunity, a decent product and service, and now you know the strategy. What comes next? Very important. Belief. What's your belief system? Now, belief is a 6-letter word. But if you look at the 3 letters in the middle of that word, it said L-I-E. What does that mean? Lie. What's the difference between champions and losers? Champions don't lie in their belief. Losers do. Now, what do you need to have belief in? 4 elements, 4 beliefs. 1, you need to have belief in the industry. I already said 35 different points of why this industry is amazing. On top of that, I'm going to add even more. This industry is one of the industries that created the most amount of millionaires on this planet. This industry pays out over 200 million in commissions every single day to its distributors. This industry is worth over $200 billion, bigger than the NFL, bigger than Hollywood, Bollywood. This industry is equal opportunity, and you can see people transform their lives from truck drivers, moms, single parents, people on the street, doctors, PhD holders, anybody who can come in and follow success and become a success story. Next belief you need to have is in the company. Now, let me tell you, NeXarise and the founders, never before have I witnessed a company like NeXarise where the 3 co-founders were holding the highest positions in their previous network marketing company and could have been so financially secure for the rest of their life that they didn't have to go and take a risk and set up a company like this. And they leave all of that in the midst of a pandemic and create something that's very risky, it can fail, and literally build something so that its people can succeed. That is why NeXarise is made by the people for the people. Next thing about belief in the company, you can search the entire internet or wherever you want. You are not going to see the founders of a company who've got field experience, so we have done what you've done, come on a call like this and have an open dialogue of question and answer when anybody can ask any question. It's not heard of. That's the reason why I look at a man in his eye and you see the window of his soul. Transparency. You won't get people like this. So that is why you can have 100% belief in the company, because you know that the founders are there behind you. Does that make sense? My favorite book says 1,000 may fall aside you, 10,000 the other, but I will not be afraid because I know who's behind me. In the same way, you can have belief in the company because you know no matter what happens, we got your back. We got your back. Next, you got to have belief in the products and services because each and every one of those products and services have already proven to be successful. But the biggest belief you need to have is the belief in you. You see, it was Confucius who said this: the person who believes he can and the person who believes he can't are both right. The only person who will stop you from being a successful individual is you yourself. And as long as you understand that, you're good. So I've talked to you about the element of success of timing, communication, having a decent product or service, having a strategy, and having the belief. But the final one is the most important one. And before I give you that, I want to show you the 5 classes of people that every opportunity meets. The first class of people are what we call the ignoramus. These are individuals you will call to have a look at the NeXarise presentation, and they will tell you before they see NeXarise that NeXarise doesn't work. It's very weird. They know what you're going to say before you've told them. Isn't that crazy? I call them the ignoramus because they're ignorant to opportunity all around. These are the individuals who will tell you, my uncle's, auntie's, cousin's sister once did it, and that because of that, I'm not going to do it. They're ignorant. You know what you should do with them? Move on. The next kind of people are individuals who will come to a presentation. They will see the information. They will love the information. They will agree NeXarise is an amazing company. They will agree the products and services are brilliant. They'll agree that the compensation plan is phenomenal. And yet they still won't sign up. And they will pass the opportunity over simply because they have a reason for why they don't want to do it. These individuals are called the passers-by. See, it was Bill Gates who said that if you're born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is your fault. My definition of poor is P-O-O-R, passing over opportunities repeatedly. What should you do with the passers-by? Move on. Then you got the next group of people who will come into the presentation. They will see the information. They love the business model. They get started and they'll join your team and will make 1,000 reasons and 1,000 excuses why they can't succeed in NeXarise. These individuals are called the excuse givers. Unfortunately, they are afflicted with a disease called excusitis that gives them two other supplementary diseases. One is called bronchitis. The other one is called pocketitis. There's nothing you can do with them. They're inactive. So stop wasting your time worrying about them. Move on. Then you got the next class of people. They love the business. They love NeXarise. They love the team. They're part of every single training. In fact, you give them a quotation, they will actually remember the quotation from the training. What is commitment? Commitment is doing the thing that you said that you would do even after the mood you said it has left you. They're so well knowledged. They believe in everything about NeXarise, but the only thing that they do is believe. These are called the believers. But they're only going to believe all their life. And they join the NeXarise club. They're club members. They don't get and do anything. But the most important people where you must focus all your time are these class of people, the doers. They are here to dominate. They understand the word dominate. The first two letters means do. They don't need to know all the information. You ask them to do something, they'll do it. You recognize them as leaders because they will call you before you call them. And they're doers. And you know what's great about the doers? They possess the sixth element of success. And that is action. You know what's great about them? You don't have to search for them. They're like cream. They automatically rise to the top. You can't, it's like osmosis. They just go to the top. It's like photosynthesis. Plants will go towards the sun and they will just grow up automatically. And everybody will see the result of the action. Everybody. So that's how you recognize them. And you will see them. Look at this. In the first 2 weeks, 2 weeks of NeXarise being open, thousands of IBOs. But these individuals are the doers who got to the top really quickly because they were action takers. Look at this. In the first 2 weeks, look at these individuals. TC 3000s. That's 3,000 pounds a month of residual income. And literally 2 days ago, in the less than the first 2 weeks of NeXarise being fully launched, you got these individuals who hit TC 5,000. That's 5,000 a month. Naturally, these are doers. Now, look at them. Do they have anything extra special? Do they have extra pairs of ears, an extra nose, an extra eye? No, they are ordinary individuals, but their work ethic has brought them to rise to the top. These are the action takers. Friends, I want to summarize my entire training by telling you the true story of a man called Eric, a simple man. An ordinary individual with average education, had a good, decent job, and he had a problem. His girlfriend was living in another part of the country, and he was using means of communicating with her, but he didn't want to just speak to her on the phone. He wanted to see her as well. And he was using what's available out there, and nobody was giving him a good connection to show him that he can see his girlfriend and talk to her on a regular basis. So you know what he decided? Rather than complain about it, let me create something so I can do it. So he's an IT guy. So he created an IT program. And using that program, he now could see his girlfriend. It's a beautiful love story. He could now see his girlfriend every single day, speak to her on every single day. Now he said, you know, this is a great idea. If I have this problem, there'll be many other people who have this problem. So he took his idea, he went to his company and his managers and said, hey, listen, here's a great idea. It's the right time. Let's do it. You know what they said? Absolutely, they struck him off. Foolish idea, laughed him away. But he had so much belief in his product, he left his job in 2011, 9 years ago, and he started his company. And he was a complete failure in the beginning. Nobody was using his product. But through strategy, consistency, belief, he kept going and going and going. Just in 2019, December, over 10 million people are now using his software. He became a millionaire. But just a few months after that, in April, over 300 million people started to use this program. And he's today worth over 50, his company is worth over 50 billion. He's worth over 36 billion. Who is Eric? Is Eric Yuan, the man who invented Zoom, because of which you and I could now communicate through his program. He used the 6th element of success. Isn't that amazing? You know, he used the element of timing. He understood that there's a reason that people need this product. He communicated well. He sold a decent product. You know, he had a strategy and he applied that strategy. He had action and he had belief. Because of that, he's become a success story. And the same thing for you, friends. You're right now in a starting point and you have FMA, first mover advantage. You know it's the right timing. All you got to do is communicate with your heart, sell a decent product and service, and know the strategy, believe in yourself and the company. And then let me tell you something, get acting right now. Apply action and you will dominate. So I asked you a question that I asked myself. What is the secret of the most successful people in the world? It's very simple. It's TMAOAGOSN. And what does that stand for? Take massive action on a good opportunity and start now. That's what that means. That's the secret. You've got the opportunity. All you got to do is now start now. So friends, I'd like to end by saying this. You see, what is good is this. Everybody wants to win. But what is bad? Nobody wants to play. What is good is everybody wants to go to heaven. But what is bad? Nobody wants to die for it. See, the beauty is you've been given an opportunity right now. Don't make your biggest regret in the next few years is looking back and saying, man, I was there in that first presentation. I was there in the first presentations, in the first trainings, and I wish I acted upon more. I wish I called that one extra person. I wish I did that one extra Zoom meeting, and I could have changed the quality of my life.